Why reading matters more now. When you're younger, you're often reading to figure out who you might become. But after 50, something shifts. You bring context with you, lived experience, loss, joy, repetition, regret, wisdom you didn't earn quickly. Books land differently when you've lived long enough to recognize yourself in them. Reading becomes a quiet form of resistance. Resistance to shallow takes, to speed, to a culture that rewards skimming over thinking. This is also when many of us stop chasing a trophy shelf. I don't know if you have one, but I do, made up of books that look good in our hands at the cafe. And we start building a personal canon. Books that shaped us, steadied us, or helped us understand the world more clearly. And rereading? Rereading becomes a revelation. You don't return to the same book as the same person. And that conversation between who you were and who you are now is one of the great pleasures of a well-read life. So what am I reading now? These days, I read more slowly and with far less guilt. I'm usually reading 3 or 4 books at a time, each for a different reason. One that stretches me intellectually. One that offers beauty or consolation. One that offers me escape. Or one that simply keeps me company. What's changed isn't my taste, it's my intention. I no longer measure my reading life by quantity. I measure it by resonance. Books have become part of how I author my life, shaping how I think, how I speak, and how I make sense of what matters and what doesn't. Reading for me now is not an escape from life. It's how I return to it more awake. Here's the invitation I want to offer you. You don't need permission to be well-read. You don't need to finish what doesn't speak to you. You don't need to impress anyone. You don't need to read what you think you should be reading. A well-read life isn't about being current. It's about being present. It's about making time and space for substance that asks something of you and gives something back in return. Reading at this stage becomes an act of self-respect, and it becomes a practice that keeps our brain synapses firing, our intellect sharp, and our minds thinking. The life you want requires the thinking that builds it. If this resonates, I share what I'm reading along with curated lists and reflections in The Stacks, a series on my Substack, The Midlife Intelligencer. Come build your reading life with me. The link is below.